Sea Lakes, California. I'm here with the Expat View. We're at the University of Houston today with Shruti Poddar, and she's a graduate student here in finance, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about what brought her to the United States. How long have you been here?
3 years.
3 years. And why did you come to?
I came here because I got married and my husband was working here.
Okay.
So I moved here with him, and the disadvantage in that being I came here on a dependent visa.
Okay.
So
Can you explain more what a dependent visa is for our audience?
yeah, basically the visa doesn't allow you to go to work or anything of that sort. So you can go to school, but that's about it. You don't have to you can't have any sort of employment. So yeah.
So you're just a student and a wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit about some of the difficulties you had when you first got here.
Basically, when I first got here, I had no clue of what I was going to do. I came here on this visa and not knowing what the consequences were going to be like. And I came here for the first 3 months, and I didn't have anything to do, no car, no nothing, no job, obviously. And it was hard because I came from like a huge family background, a lot of support and everything, and then I came here absolutely alone. I did no single person. And that was really hard. I mean, it was difficult, and then just this whole shock of, you know, not being able to relate to people around me because everyone didn't think the same way, didn't understand me, and just the way people did back home. So I was kind of lost, but then I decided to join school, hoping that would be like, you know, a streak of new hope to meet people and stuff like that. But I did that. I mean, it was fun. School's been great all the while. I mean, I think school's been my greatest support structure here to be able to cope with life here better. But even when I first came to school, things were difficult. I thought I'm going to be able to make friends, and I considered myself an easy-going, outgoing person. But it wasn't that simple because I, you know, was scared to go up and talk to people because everyone came from different cultures. I didn't understand them. Everyone spoke different accents, and initially I even had like, you know, a difficult time grasping different accents
Sure.
at the first go. Even in the classroom, for that matter, like, you know, I would record classes for the first whole semester because you know, the professor's accent, I won't pick up on things right away. So yeah, for the first 2 semesters it was a struggle, but then I guess I kind of just hung in there.
So you developed certain strategies to help you to cope actually with school life, like recording the lectures that were given in order to replay them to understand really what's going on, and then to have to be able to communicate with other people and understand other people's accents. And being in this kind of microcosm of Houston with the Texas accent that's really, really strong, it was really difficult for you to understand what was going on. Even though you speak the language.
My first professor, I think that's what he had a really strong Texas Southern accent. And I wouldn't even understand when he's being sarcastic and joking. Like, you know, I thought he's being serious, and then when I listened to it again, I was like, oh my god, he was joking. So yeah, it was kind of funny, but it was embarrassing back then that, you know, I had to do that, and I couldn't. I was like, I speak English. I grew up speaking English, like since I was 4 years old, so it's not like a second language to me. But still, it was hard.
Yeah, a lot of people make that assumption that if you speak the same language that you can adapt a lot quicker in certain countries, but that's not necessarily the case because there's a cultural background.
Yeah.
So what were some of the things that really helped you to adjust?
You know, I think what I did is I kind of I realized that I was having a hard time, and it's not that easy for me to make friends and stuff like that. And I started as an undergraduate student. I was already a bit older than most of the class, so I kind of held back initially. But then what I started to do is just focus on my work, and I started to do well in school in terms of grades and stuff. So I think my first breakthrough was because I was helping a bunch of students and colleagues and my peers, and we were studying together. And so I think that's how I kind of got friendly to the first set of people, because we'd studied together.
So it was very validating to work together with people.
Yeah.
And just share.
And I think that was my greatest breakthrough, because I realized, okay, we're studying the same matter, and I understand it, and I'm able to help them. So I'm not really like, you know, far behind, or it's not like I don't have to be scared to approach anybody. So I think that worked for me. And secondly, what I did is, it would have been easy if I came here, like U of H especially has a huge Indian population, and so many Indian communities and groups I could have joined. I'd go to the events, but I kind of chose to just not get into that circle and stay in it, because I think I mean, if I had done that, it would have been easy initially, but I don't think I would have gained as much. Like I mean, because if I came here and just had Indian friends and spoke the Indian language and, you know, stayed in that circle, I won't really have a full experience of being in school abroad.
Right. You wouldn't have been able to adapt as quickly. That's true.
So I think that was hard, but I mean, I think it paid off in the long run. And I mean, I'm much happier that I stuck in and kind of roughed it out in the beginning.
So is your advice to tell people just when the tough gets rough to keep going, to stick with it? What other advice would you give to other expatriates about moving abroad in any country?
I think especially a student, I mean, I'm mostly talking about my experience as a student more than a wife, because I mean, though I think if it wasn't for my husband, I wouldn't have been able to cope this fast. It would have taken me much longer. I think because at least he was there and his advice, and he's been a student and he's been here for like 3 years before I have. His advice helped. So, I mean, my advice to people would be just hang in there, do what you're best at, excel at that, and then slowly something will work out. And I mean, everyone's scared initially to talk to people around them, just because, I mean, you know, I've met people from places I didn't even know existed on the map at one time. And now I know them so well and I know so much about them. And it's been rewarding. So, I mean, my advice would be that don't like cling on to people of your type as soon as you come here. Because if you do that, you don't really learn as much as you could. And you won't gain as much value as you could from being here. And I mean, I think that's the way I approached it. Everyone doesn't approach it like that. Like, I approached it as a learning experience, saying, okay, I'm going to, and then I would actually see my husband, and he manages perfectly well in a completely diverse environment. So I was like, why can't I? You know, why is this fear still kind of clinging on to me? But then, yeah. So
to take the risk to go outside of your culture, to meet other people from other cultures, and that way will help you adapt a little bit better. But if you stay in your culture where you're very comfortable, it'd be more difficult to continue to go forward and to adapt to your culture.
Yeah, because at some point you're going to have to meet people from different parts. Whether it's going to be in a work environment, a classroom setting, or your professors. If you're not going to open up to people from different cultures, then it's going to be hard to be here. That was my view right from the beginning.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Thank you for visiting us on the Expat View. Please visit us at our website at www.expatview.com and like us on Facebook.
Thank you.
Thank you. You did great.